Hi all, it is the first week of December and my final week in Cambridge for Michaelmas term. I have written, I think this will be my 10th essay of term, so my brain is a little bit fried, but it is the final push and we're going to make this essay really good because it's a really interesting topic. So I thought I'd bring you all along while I write this final essay. I've done most of the readings for it, I got a bit done over breakfast this morning, so the main plan for today is planning and rough writing, and then tomorrow I will refine it and submit it. So it's all happening in quite a quick time frame because I want to practice just writing things quickly and just submitting them, because I have a tendency to obsess and just keep editing and editing to the point where it burns me out and it's not really helping the essay in any way, so I just want it gone. The essay I'm writing today and tomorrow is on the Greek symposium. If you haven't encountered the symposium before, it's essentially a drinking party in its most simple terms. It was a core social gathering for the Athenian elite, mainly the male citizen elite, which essentially was comprised of men reclining on couches, sharing diluted wine, where there would be philosophical discussion, music would be played, there'd be flirtation and all these sort of things going on. It was a very performed and choreographed version of elite sociability. Most of the information we have about the symposium comes from the pots that were actually used as the drinking vessels during the event. So my essay is mainly focused on the material evidence. So I'm really trying in this essay to let the evidence and the examples guide my discussion and my analysis. While I'm currently in the reading phase, I do have a rough idea of where I'd like my argument to lead. My argument will essentially be that the painted pottery we see from the symposium doesn't show how the symposium literally happened as a historical event, but is more about how the Athenians conceptualized it. And I'll look at how the vases in the drinking vessels set up the symposium as a space for sort of negotiating what it meant to socialize, what it meant to be a male elite citizen, and what it meant to sort of toe the line between Dionysiac revelry and drunkenness and disorder, and civic control and power. So that's the tension I'm really looking at. I wonder if that makes sense. It's quite good to see myself talking about it, to see if my argument actually has any basis whatsoever. But once I start planning, I think it will become more clear. But that's just my preliminary idea while I'm doing these readings. I'm actually finding this book in particular really helpful. It's essentially, I wouldn't call it a picture book, that seems derogatory, but it's mainly just a list of examples with the images, which is so helpful, and then a brief description. So it's really good to work with so I can develop my own ideas and my own analysis and insert it into my argument. It's not sort of just giving me a ready set argument, it's just giving me the examples. So really enjoying this. So if anyone's doing classics or anything ancient history or archaeology, I guess this would also fall under, I'd really recommend this. It's The City of Images by Berard. So in terms of the plan for today and tomorrow, as I say, I've mainly done all the reading. I will head to the library and college a bit now just to get some final readings done, but that shouldn't take too long. And then I have a supervision in the faculty, so I'll probably return these books and work in the library there for a bit. I will hopefully be able to plan the entire essay in that time. I do like to do a really detailed plan, which will probably end up being longer than the actual essay, but I will be able to do it quite quickly because usually while I'm doing the readings for an essay, I'm sort of creating a mini plan, more of a brain blurt, if you will. When I'm reading and digesting the ideas, I'm thinking as well, so I'm writing down all my thoughts for a sort of introduction and rough plan. So I already have a kind of plan in place, so it's just now about refining it, adding examples and scholarship. And then I'll probably come home for the evening and I will rough write the essay. There's probably a more official term for it, but I just call it rough writing, where I take the plan that I've done and just write it up as quickly as possible, just to get the sense of the argument and the sense of how I want to word things. And then tomorrow I will focus on refining it, actually making it understandable for someone reading it, because often my rough plans just have, brackets saying insert analysis here, which is totally unhelpful, so it definitely needs refining, but I find it good to just get it on the page and just have something to work with. So if all goes well, this essay should be done by tomorrow midday. I'm setting my goal at, so I've got all of today and tomorrow midday, so we're absolutely fine. So on that note, I think it's time to get started, so I'm going to head to the college library and let's have a productive day. So I'm now back for the evening. I say evening, it's about 4:30 p.m. It's just incredibly dark outside because winter. And it's been a really productive day. I've managed to plan the entire essay, which is relatively unusual for me. I normally take a bit longer on the planning, but it's quite detailed, which should make writing relatively easy. So I think the plan for tonight is to rough write this essay as much as possible. I should be able to do it pretty much in its entirety, and tomorrow morning we'll just be rewriting, refining, adding the images. Tonight let's get as much done as possible, so tomorrow will be lovely, easy breezy, and I don't have to wake up too early. I also wanted to briefly talk about the study music I've been using recently. My friend has turned me on to Christmas lo-fi playlists on YouTube, particularly this account, which is Warm Blanket. They do these seasonal lo-fi videos which are so calming and lovely to listen to, but also to look at. All the art seems to be original. This one in particular is called You're Capable of More Than You Think, Keep Pushing, which hopefully sets the tone for tonight's work, because I want to be as productive as possible. So on that note, laptop at the ready, study music going, so let's be productive. Good morning, it's now the next day and it's time to finish this essay. I'm pretty happy with where I got to last night. I managed to write up the entire introduction and refine it, so I shouldn't need to go over that again. I'll read through it obviously before I submit to make sure it still matches the rest of the essay. It is about 9 a.m. now. I'm giving myself about 3-ish hours to write up this essay, which I think should be feasible. I think editing the images will take longer, but that's more of an admin task than a writing task. And the essay isn't actually due until 5, so I should have plenty of time should everything go wrong with the document. So before I start, I think I might make a matcha, just because it is relatively early to be working this hard and I think I need some brain boosting. And then we will get started. Just to take you through my writing setup, I always have the essay I'm writing on the left of my screen, and then I have the reading notes and the plan on the right. I like having it all on one device, so if I want to copy and paste bits from my plan or add in the images, you can't see, add in the images from my reading notes, then it's all relatively easy and streamlined. And I think it just helps while I'm writing, seeing the entire plan for the essay and how it's going to go, so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. I think because I've written so many essays this term, I may have got it down to an art in terms of how to do it as quickly as possible while still maintaining some quality. I'm normally someone who takes a long time writing essays, but I think because it's the last one, I've got pretty good at it. I think next term I'll reset and I'll forget how to do this, but because we're on the 10th essay, it's become a bit easier. So without further ado, matcha and then writing. Alright, matcha made. I sweetened it with honey this time, which is not something I normally do. I normally have vanilla syrup, so let's try. Okay, that might be my new favourite addition to matcha. Why was I ever doing vanilla? This is so much nicer. Okay, good to know. The morning has started out well. Okay, so it's currently about 10:45-ish, and I've just finished the first section, so I've done the introduction and section 1. Overall, I'm happy with how it looks, and it's about 1,000-ish words, so pretty good, and I think everything in there is what I wanted to say and what's in the plan. So yeah, let's get on to section 2. Oh, and when I talk about sections, I always group my points in an essay under sections. Probably best to show you. So I have section 1 of this essay is called Metasympathetic Vessels, i.e. those vases that are talking about the symposium itself and showing images of the symposium. And section 2 is all about gods and Dionysus and deviant behaviour at the symposium. While I'm saying this, and while I have done this, and I find it very helpful to structure the essay in this way, I think for this particular essay I do need to emphasise that these aren't two entirely separate things, and that Dionysiac and deviant behaviour is very much still part of the normative structure of the symposium. So now I'm starting section 2, I think I need to start off clarifying that, so I will do that. See, it's good to talk this through. This is a good way for me to do it. I know they always say when you're revising it's good to teach someone else, so it's just good to say this out loud. Alright, it's about 1 p.m. now, and the essay is done! Thank you. My final piece of work, finished. Well, we still have to do the images, but I won't take you along for that because that's just a beast in and of itself. So thank you for staying with me while I wrote this essay. If you were working alongside me, I hope you were equally productive. I'd say I was pretty productive. I know we're slightly later than I said, but the essay is done, so I'm happy. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I will talk to you soon.